Good evening and welcome to the October 23rd regular board meeting of the Clay Township Board. This is also our 2019 budget adoption. Call the meeting to order at 6:02. If you would please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First of all, I want to say Mary Eckert did everything she could and scheduled her trip around this meeting, and then her plane went and got delayed. So we're hoping to see her walk in. She has done everything she can to get here, so hopefully Mary will come in, and if she does, we'll take a couple minute recess, but we'll see. We'll just hope that happens. Recognition of outstanding citizens by the Township Board and Trustee. Doug?
Tonight we have a special presentation to the board by the Boy Scouts and by the Fire Department. So Chief, if you would like to.
Thank you, Trustee Callahan. Good evening, board members, citizens. Nice to see everyone. It's a big crowd tonight. So if you would, I'd like to introduce Steve Simmons from Carmel Troop 131 to come up. And Steve is going to introduce the members of his troop. Troop 131 partnered with Carmel Fire Department Honor Guard last year to make a video, and it was how to fold a flag. And the video won a major award from the Hometown Media Award winner. And so I'll present the plaque here in just a minute, but I'd like to give Steve an opportunity to introduce the boys, and then we'll, if we could, if you would indulge us for just a minute so that we can present the award and also take a couple pictures, I would appreciate that. So, Steve?
Thank you. I'd like to call up these are the young men that had the opportunity to participate in the video. It was about a year ago. So there's Connor Simmons. Come on up, guys. Elliot Clancy, Graham Seaver, and Ben Spanenberg. So, if you've seen the video, they've all changed quite a bit over the last year. Gotten a lot bigger. Some of them gotten a little furrier. It was a great honor for our troop to do some public service with the Carmel Fire Department, and we look forward to potentially doing that again.
Thanks, Steve. I'd also like to introduce Jason Reeser. He's our commander of the Honor Guard. Jason, if you'd come up here. And I see Chris Walker in the back as well. He's an Honor Guard member as well. And if we could just take a brief moment. And this is a great example of community partners coming together. And the video runs periodically on the Carmel Government Access Channel. And so we're really proud to have this partnership, and Steve, we look forward to doing this again with these young men, and it'll be fun to follow these young gentlemen as they grow older. I noticed that I'm one of the shortest ones up here, but Jason and Chris, thank you very much for your part in this as well. Thank you to Omni Center for producing the video. We've got several plaques to hand out. One of these will be going home with the Boy Scout troop, and it reads, Hometown Media Award winner, folding and disposing of an American flag, the Omni Center for Public Media, Carmel Fire Department as the best of instructional training, access center professional, presented by the Alliance for Community Media 2018. Congratulations, Carmel Fire Department Honor Guard and Troop 131. And if, would you just indulge us so that we get a smaller group? We've also got, I'm going to present another one to Clay Township for working with us and sponsoring this, and for the funding in order to provide this educational video. So thank you. If you would indulge us and we get a great big picture, I would appreciate that. Trustee Callahan?
Well, why doesn't Doug accept it?
down a little bit.
This way, okay. Is that better?
That's perfect, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Very welcome.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's well done. That's great.
Thank you all very much, appreciate it.
Hey, you don't have to leave, we got budget stuff you can look at. Thank you all.
There's that big crowd we were promised.
Hey, Layla.
We probably should have taken a recess.
Hey, Hal, do you want to just take a 2-minute recess?
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Matt.
All right, well, thank you to the Boy Scouts and to the fire department. That's a great honor and much appreciated. Thank you. Next up are public comments. Anybody?
Approval of minutes.
Oh, excuse me. Well,
We'll get to that.
all right. Do we have a motion to approve minutes from our September 18th meeting?
So moved.
I second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carries. Action items. Adoption of 2019 salaries.
Okay, before you, you have the Form 17 from State Board of Accounts, and it's got all of our salaries on it, which totals $259,380. If there's any questions, I'd be welcome to answer them.
Motion.
I move for adoption of the 2019 salaries.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Adoption of the 2019 budget.
Okay, what I've got here is that I give you the budget highlights for 2019. And our total township budget is $9,935,680, and that's for all funds for next year. It's a decrease of $483,805, or 5% decrease from this year. Last year's was $10,419,485.
Doug, can I point out that
Yeah.
at our last meeting when we had the budget hearing, nothing has changed
Yes.
between then and now, just
Yeah.
so
So
that,
if you've seen online the Form 3 or DLGF, nothing has changed. Only way we can change it, we can only go down. So if they look at something, they don't like it, they can't raise it, they can only reduce it, okay? Moving on, in the the local income tax used to be COIT, County Option Income Tax. For next year, in 2019, the township will be receiving $4,270,708, which will be an increase of $222,829 from this year. In May, we received a spatial lit distribution of $614,472, and DLGF tells us where that money has to go to break it out. Now the funds, we have a general fund, which is $1,268,642. It's a $253,000 increase. Of that, 300,000 are for grants, which will be discussed later with the board. We're working on increasing that fund because the Standards and Poor people calls us every couple of years and see how we're doing. So they always want us to increase the balance we have in there. So we might see an increase there. Note also we have to tolerate a $90,000 property tax cap impact. So in other words, you know, we can only raise the budget so much, the general fund. So they cap it. The impact we have is $90,000. The second fund is a Township Debt Service Fund, which is for Central Park, which is $4,474,000, and that fluctuates from year to year by 2,000. It'll go up 2,000, it'll go down 3,000, it'll go back up. So it fluctuates every year, not much at all. Township Assistance Fund is $96,038. It's an increase of $11,048. We have a pretty good, strong cash balance in there. And the property tax cap for that is, everybody's got to have a tax cap, of course. It's $82,000. The fire fund for next year is $500,000. It's a decrease of $1,310,000. That's calculated by the township share of the fire department and communications budget. And usually it's about 2.9 to 3%, and we anticipate it'll be a little bit less. 2019, next year, will be the last year that the township will pay the city of Carmel any funds for fire protection. That's it. We're done because the entire township is now in the city. So there will be no more after next year. That property tax cap is only $5,146. The fire building debt fund, which is the new fire station, the remodel of 43s, and then the training and maintenance garage, its fund is $497,000. Again, that stays within that range, $495,000, $496,000. So not a lot of movement there. The park non-reverting fund, non-reverting capital fund, is $2,950,000, and that's all paid by lit money or COA, whichever you want to look. It's all local income tax or county option income tax. I'm still not sure, maybe Angie could answer, why they changed it from COA to lit. It's all the same thing. It's all income tax. And then our last fund is the Park and Recreation Fund. Again, we take the lit. And lit has paid for that Park and Recreation Fund, which is our portion of the park fund. Their general fund is we've never taxed, for over 20 years, we have never taxed the unincorporated part of the township for this. We have used lit money, local income tax money. And again, this will be the last year, or next year will be the last year that we pay the city of Carmel for park and recreation money, okay? So we're gonna lose two funds after next year. The fire fund, which is the 1111, and the 1312 was a park and recreation. Okay, so we will, since we're all in the city now, the city will take care of all that for us. Okay, I will turn it back over to you, the board, and you guys can have any questions or?
No, just general note, because on some of these big numbers, so it has been, I would say, the duty or stewardship of the township over the years historically that the city has always had the large share of operating funds for the parks and the fire department. The township's contribution has been in capital improvements, where the city hasn't been able to do certain things, or some things have gone longer than they needed to in rehabilitation or construction. That's where the township then steps up and has helped in capital improvements. We probably don't see that changing in the near future if we're able to. So that's why our operating funds are always so small and our capital funds are always so big. What most of you are probably here to hear then would be the grant allocations. this goes, I don't want to say arguments, productive conversation goes on amongst the board members for several months, as soon as Doug gives us what our target number is. And we go back and forth and fight for the causes we want, and then go through and fight for the causes that best impact. We look at percentage of impact on Clay Township versus residents outside of Clay Township. This is one of the many factors that go into this. I will say this year, as we try to rein some things in, this is the very first year where nobody's getting the maximum amount. We just had to divvy it up. There's been some addition of some very important requesters, and we did our best to our ability that we know how to make this as fair and equitable and impactful on the community as we could. So I'm just going to read this. Gleaner's Food Bank, $20,000. Chassie's Place, $25,000. Meals on Wheels, $25,000. Trinity Free Clinic, $25,000. The Carmel Fire Department, Children's Fund, $10,000. Prime Life, $28,000. Janus, $28,000. Prevail, $15,000. NAMI, $1,500. Salvation Army, $15,000. The School Exchange, $4,000. Carmel Dads Club, $15,000. Hamilton County Leadership Academy, $2,000. Carmel United Methodist Food Bank, $5,000. Carmel Clay Historical Society, $8,000. Carmel Clay Library Foundation, $20,000. Carmel Sister Cities, $4,000. Carmel Community Players, $2,000. Booth Tarkington, $3,000. Museum of Miniature Houses, $7,500. Actors Theater of Indiana, $12,000. Family Promise of Hamilton County, $10,000. And the Merciful Help Center, $15,000. At this time, I'll ask for the question.
I move for adoption of the 2019 budget.
I second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carries 2-0. Doug, EMS budget, please.
Yeah, every year, the fire department receives funds throughout the year for the use of for ambulance user fees. In other words, they come to your area or come to your home and transport you to the hospital. There's a charge, and we've been doing this for the last, I don't know, 30 years. Yeah, it goes back some time. And what's good about this is it helps supplement the budget of the fire department. So they are able to pay for the apparatus. It's paid for furnishings in the fire stations. It pays for a lot of miscellaneous expenses. If you're familiar with government categories, there's 4 categories, and the 4th category is capital outlays. And if you notice, the fire department's is 0 from taxes, because all of that expense comes out of this ambulance user fees. So you're talking about $1 million to $1.5 million every year that the fire department uses this money to buy new apparatus. So you don't have a 1910 ambulance come into your house. You have the best you can get out there. And so we do a resolution that we go along with, and most likely this will be the last. No, we'll still do this. We'll still do this. Yeah, okay. But anyway, they make a presentation, the fire department does, and their annual budget for this year is $1,511,428, which is an increase of $170,450 for next year. And I will say this has saved the community so much money. You would not believe that when you're spending $1 to $1.5 million a year, not out of taxpayers, but out of people that uses the ambulance. And so, Chief, great job, great job.
And I'll say what this can be spent on is excruciatingly detailed, very specific. I mean, it's for ambulatory supplies and the apparatus itself. And then just to clarify, this is collected from insurance companies. This is not us twisting people's arms trying to get them to pay for an ambulance ride that they needed.
No other comment other than I will move for adoption of the 2019 EMS budget.
I second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That carries 2-0. And because many, many, many years ago, long before Paul or I
And me.
and Doug, things got, I have no excuse for this, but we're approving this year's fire contract with only 2 months left in the year, and that's the way it's always been, and I've really never gotten a really good reason as to why we do that.
I don't know. It's just one of those things that we go back and forth until we work it out.
I move to approve the 2018, this year's, it's paid for fire contract.
I second.
All
Should
those
we
in favor?
state the amount?
Go ahead, Doug.
Okay, the amount from the fire department is for the fire department is $728,062.32. And the communications is actually $728,062. And then the communications is $68,726. And with an additional sum up to $120,000 for physicals, fire department physicals.
So the question's been asked. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, carries. Miss Monica Kelsey.
Well, good evening. I'm only 5 foot, so I'm gonna pull it down just a
All
bit.
right.
I'm about as short as you are. About a month ago, I came and I met with Carmel Fire Department. I'm the founder and current president of Safe Haven Baby Boxes, the only organization in the United States that is giving women 100% anonymity under the Safe Haven law. Safe Haven law has been around for almost 20 years, and to date we've saved about 3,700 babies nationwide. In the state of Indiana, over the last 18 years, we've saved 70, I believe 79, it's on that sheet, I believe 79. What's striking though is even though we've saved all these babies is the amount of abandonments that are still happening in our country. And we're about 1,700 babies in the last 18 years. Indiana was about 40 when I first took over back in 2016. And when I started this organization back in 2014, before I launched in 2016, we were averaging in Indiana about 2 babies a year found dead in our state. And what I mean by that is a full-term baby with placenta still attached found in a trash can or a dumpster. Indianapolis has had a lot of them. I'm sure you guys have seen them in the news. With every year, there was 2 abandonments or 2 dead babies until 2016. And when I was in college, one of my professors used to always say, don't tell me what you're gonna do, show me what you've done. So I wanna show you what we've done since 2016, just in the state of Indiana. You guys have some forms there. We have taken the abandonments completely off the table for the state of Indiana. We have had 0 abandonments since I launched in 2016 in April. And we've had record number of surrenders, legal surrenders, where women walked into fire stations and handed their child over. One of the things that's the biggest misconception of the box is that we're just driving women to baby boxes, which is completely false. What we're doing is we're trying to give them a better option. And if you look at the surrenders on your sheet there, you can see that the surrenders are astronomical for 2016 and 2017. Or I'm sorry, 2017, 2018 so far. I don't have the sheet in front of me, but you can see that we're saving more babies today than we ever have in the last 18 years since the law passed, and we've found no abandonments in trash cans or dumpsters. So I am trying to get people to be proactive, to help us continue this trend. to not be reactive if a baby is found in a dumpster in your community, because then you're gonna have to backpedal. And so I have spoken with Carmel Fire Department, and I would like to have one of our baby boxes placed in one of your fire stations to give women the last option available to them when they're in a crisis and they don't want their faces seen. And this is the only thing in America right now that's given women 100% anonymity. I brought, again, don't tell me what you're gonna do, show me what you've done. And I brought some pictures of some babies that's been placed in our boxes. And this is what makes it real for us, is being able to hold these full-term babies and look them in the eye and know that they're here because of us. And if you guys remember, we have one down in Decatur Township. If you guys have ever been down there, go look at it. It's pretty impressive. But we announced that we were putting one in Decatur Township ahead of time. So if there's any media here, I would recommend that you not put anything in the paper right now if this is a go. Because we announced that we were putting a box in there July 1st, and then we got hung up with a permit for that location. And a mom showed up at the fire station on July 1 with a little baby, looking for our baby box. And thankfully she called our hotline, which is a 24-hour hotline, and we helped her go to that location and hand that child over to a firefighter there at the location. But it could have been deadly. So we don't want women to know that they're gonna be there, that they're coming, because they don't hear that. They just, oh, there's a fire station, baby box. I'll go to that location if I need it. So we're trying to, only the locations that have baby boxes we're trying to announce because of that situation that happened in Decatur Township last couple months ago, actually. But that's why I'm here, to answer any questions, to pass around some of these beautiful pictures, and
Monica, you might let them know how it works, the policy, not policy, but how it functions.
yeah, absolutely. That's probably the biggest question that a lot of people get. The box is made out of a polypropylene plastic. It's not made out of steel or metal or anything like that. And the electronics inside, there's 3 alarms to these boxes. So when a box is installed into a fire station, it's basically cut out like a window, like you're putting a window in, and the box slides in. So the inside of the fire station has the inside of the box, which is where the child is retrieved. The outside of the fire station is where the mother would place the child in the box. As soon as she opens the door, the first 911 call goes out. So if she shuts the door and changes her mind, fire department will still be notified. So they're gonna still come to this box. Once the baby's placed inside, there's a second alarm that goes to the 911 dispatch center. And there's also a button on the inside for mom to push. And if she doesn't choose to push that, it's okay, because we still have 2 alarms that are gonna go off anyway. And then once she shuts that door locks, and that's a safety feature. So if she changes her mind, she's gonna have to wait for fire and medical to pull that child from the inside of the box. The baby that you see there was pulled from the box in 4 minutes at a volunteer fire station at 11 o'clock at night. No one was there. Second baby, volunteer fire station. No one was there, picked up in 90 seconds. So when we come in and we train for these boxes, we make it evident that this is, when this alarm goes off, it's kind of like a cardiac arrest in our world. You know, you start to focus, and it's a priority one. So, but the box is electronically monitored. It has a battery backup, so if you lose power, the box will still stay on. We've taken a lot of ideas. Our engineers have worked very hard to make sure that this is as safe as possible for the infants that we're trying